Overwhelmed by the encounter, we decided to take a break and review the footage we had captured. Back in the warmth of the main bar area, we huddled around our equipment, watching the playback with bated breath. The cameras had captured everything: the moan, the footsteps, and the ashtray flying off the shelf. But it was the image of the young man that left us speechless. His face was clear, his eyes filled with a sorrow that seemed to reach out from beyond the grave. As we replayed the footage, a sense of purpose settled over me. This wasn't just about ghost hunting. It was about understanding the stories of those who had come before us, honouring their memories, and perhaps, in some small way, helping them find peace. Emily shared my sentiments, and we vowed to continue our investigations, determined to uncover more about the Grenadier's spectral inhabitants. Over the following months, our explorations took us to every corner of the pub, from the dusty attic to the shadowy corners of the cellar. Each visit brought new discoveries and deepened our connection to the Grenadier. We documented numerous instances of paranormal activity, objects moving on their own, unexplained cold spots, and the occasional apparition. But it was the subaltern's story that remained at the forefront of our minds. Through our research, we learned more about his tragic fate. He had been a young officer, full of life and promise, who had made the fatal mistake of cheating at cards. His comrades, in a fit of rage, had beaten him so severely that he succumbed to his injuries. The month was September, and every year, his restless spirit returned to the Grenadier, seeking some form of justice or resolution. Our investigations also revealed the identity of Cedric, the playful yet occasionally malevolent ghost who seemed to delight in causing mischief. Cedric had been a long-time patron of the pub, a charming rogue with a penchant for practical jokes. His death had been sudden and unexpected, and his spirit had remained, drawn to the place he had loved in life. Despite the frequent encounters with the supernatural, the Grenadier never lost its charm for me. The sense of history and the palpable presence of the past only added to its allure. Each visit felt like a journey through time, a chance to connect with the spirits who had once walked its halls. One particularly memorable evening, Emily and I decided to hold a séance in the pub. We gathered a small group of trusted friends and fellow researchers, setting up a circle in the main bar area. The atmosphere was charged with anticipation, and as we joined hands, the room seemed to grow colder, the flickering candlelight casting eerie shadows on the walls. We called out to the spirits, inviting them to communicate with us. At first, there was nothing but silence, the air heavy with expectation. Then, slowly, we began to hear faint whispers, barely audible over the crackling of the fire. The table shook slightly, and a cold breeze swept through the room, extinguishing the candles. In the darkness, we felt a presence, a gentle yet insistent force that seemed to be trying to make contact. Emily spoke softly, addressing the subaltern by name. She asked him to share his story, to let us understand his pain and find a way to help him. For a moment, there was silence. Then a series of soft taps echoed around the room, as if someone were knocking on the walls. The air grew colder still, and we heard the sound of footsteps, slow and deliberate, approaching our circle. I felt a chill run down my spine as the presence grew stronger, more tangible. Suddenly the candles relit, their flames burning brighter than before. In the flickering light we saw the figure of the subaltern standing before us, his expression filled with sorrow and longing. He reached out a hand, and I felt a surge of emotion, a mix of sadness, regret, and a desperate need for resolution. Emily, her voice trembling, asked him what he needed to find peace. The subaltern's form wavered, and we heard a soft, almost inaudible whisper, "Forgiveness." Tears filled my eyes as I realized the depth of his pain. He had been trapped in this cycle of torment for centuries, unable to move on because of the guilt and anger that still lingered from his untimely death. Emily and I exchanged a glance, understanding what needed to be done. We spoke words of forgiveness, offering him the absolution he so desperately sought. The air grew warmer, and the sense of heaviness began to lift. The subaltern's form grew fainter, his expression softening into one of gratitude and relief. As he faded from view, the room was filled with a sense of peace and tranquility. The séance had been a success, and we knew that we had helped the subaltern find the closure he needed. The Grenadier remained a place of fascination and mystery, but the sense of heaviness that had once permeated its walls seemed to have lifted. The spirits were still there, but they were less restless, their presence more benign. Emily and I continued our investigations, documenting our findings and sharing our experiences with others who shared our passion for the paranormal. The Grenadier had become more than just a pub to us. It was a place of connection, a bridge between the past and present. Years passed, and the Grenadier continued to be a beloved haunt for both locals and tourists. Its reputation as one of London's most haunted pubs only grew, drawing in those who were curious about its spectral inhabitants. I often found myself returning to the Grenadier, each visit a reminder of the incredible journey I had undertaken. The memories of my encounters with the supernatural, the friendships I had forged, and the stories I had uncovered remained with me, a testament to the enduring power of the past. And as I sat in the warm, inviting atmosphere of the Grenadier, sipping a pint and listening to the hum of conversations around me, I couldn't help but feel a sense of gratitude. The Grenadier had given me more than just stories. It had given me a connection to a world beyond our own, a glimpse into the lives and loves of those who had come before us. In the end, I knew that when my time came, the Grenadier would be high on my list of places to haunt. It was a place of history, mystery, and connection, a place where the past and present coexisted in a delicate balance. And as I left the pub that night, I felt a sense of peace, knowing that I was part of its story just as it was a part of mine. Hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and stay tuned for more.